Switch 2.
Yes.
It got announced today, and I gotta say, I was so disappointed. So disappointed. It's not even funny. I was completely disappointed. I was just so sad to see. I gotta be honest with you. I was really hyped to see the new Mario Kart, right? Our son, Madman, hyped me up because he said that, he's seen that they said that it's gonna be the most expensive game that Nintendo's ever made, right? And that supposedly they're going so hard into the graphics and doing all this shit, and then we saw it, and I'm sorry, but honestly, for me, I feel like this is Nintendo's PlayStation 5 Pro. It's just well, let's pause it and zoom in and see if we can spot the difference. Mario Kart 10 versus Mario Kart 8 from 2014, that game is. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that, some crazy number from back then. Like, I that's wild. This is a brand new console. This is their next gen.
This is their next gen.
And like, even if no matter how you cut it, I don't care if it's only the power of a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One compared to what the Switch was, there still should be visual leaps and bounds over what they were able to do with that old ass tech.
How is it more expensive than a Series S?
I mean, that's a possibility that it might be, which would be crazy if they honestly can't get, if they cannot deliver Series S performance at a minimum. I'm talking docked, right? If they can't do that, I don't even know what the fuck I don't know what to do.
What's the point of it? Yes, I have to agree. I was disappointed. I had high hopes, and as of right now, it just, again, a PlayStation 5 Pro. It's the pisser all over again from Nintendo. I was shocked. I thought I was going to see, even what we saw of Mario Kart, I thought it was going to be impressive. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, maybe the ground, maybe. I
see a crack on the floor. There's no detail.
But I can spot. But oh my gosh, this is a Wii U situation all over again. This is what I'm seeing. Unless they show up with a ridiculous lineup of games right off the bat that are not going to be on the original Switch, I do not see a reason where anyone is going to be unless you're really just want to have every console, where you're going to sit there and say, yeah, let me go ahead and get that. This is when the Wii U came out and you're like, okay, well, the Wii is pretty much the same, guys. We don't need to upgrade your Wii.
This literally just looks like a new model of a Switch.
Yeah.
Bigger screen. They changed the way it's connected. That's all shit that they could still do in the existing generation. You can release a new Switch that has no power bump and make the screen bigger. Give me the magnetic handrails. This is all just crap that you could do with your old gen. You didn't show me any. Obviously, the way they did this, and I think we talked about it earlier, it felt like this was the beginning video for a full direct. You know what I'm saying? You're going to watch a direct, and this is the way they announce, they show you the Switch, and then they're like, here's the rest of the direct. But it's no, you're going to have to wait till April for us to go ahead and see that. You know what I'm saying? That's wild. That's really far away. You know what I'm saying? That's really, really far.
This I'm literally seeing, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling the same way that those people felt back then about the Switch. I was more hyped when they had the OLED version of the Switch and they showed it, and I was like, oh shoot, yes, let's go. I was all in. I need to see the games. I need a crazy lineup that I cannot resist in order to go ahead and jump in and get the new Switch. I was disappointed because I was expecting a lot. and that wasn't it.
Again, not photorealism, right? I didn't expect to see Mario as like, like a real looking human, right? It could still be that cartoon look, right? But like you still have plenty of space to go in, the cartoon type graphics, right? There's so much more you could do, and it didn't see it. The world didn't look amazing, right? None of the landmarks, anything looked great. The resolution was still low as fuck. Like no matter how you cut it, you can still barely make shit out. I mean, it just
And
wasn't impressive.
even the
Man.
Switch itself, yes, they made some changes, and they're okay. It's cool that it's magnetic now, so we don't go ahead and put the damn thing in upside down and then it's stuck there and you break your freaking Switch trying to get that that controller out. But I mean, new ways to break it. I see them all already.
You saw the handle, the little magnet piece?
Yes.
It's like floating in there. Why not build like a big block around it to like give it some heft? You know what I'm saying? So when you do it, you don't have any like the kids.
No ways to die. Yes.
Like
if anything,
exactly.
I feel like this is going to be almost an easier way to, because the button was so small in the back, which, by the way, it was the most annoying thing to try to take those things out. But at least, when you gave it to your child, your kid, or you got them the console, it was a little more difficult for them to go ahead and slide that out. Now it's a full-blown button in the back, and it just disconnects really easy, which also brings a new line of problems.
Just got to be careful. It being magnetic, keep it away from hard drives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that too. So what do they have to do? Put the hard drive in the middle of the system, like the storage, so that it doesn't get close to anything on the other side?
That's the question to be answered.
We have the homie Will, the Insider Pro Boy. I appreciate you, man. It says Best Buy has new Legion Go S Windows for pre-order. At this point, I'm just waiting for Xbox to drop another one. I'm not getting any more of these handhelds. I already got the OLED Steam Deck. We got the first ROG Ally. We got the first Steam Deck. We're good. We'll just wait till Xbox drops one. I was excited for this one for the Switch too, but come on, man, that's wild. I don't know if you remember, right? But the old Joy-Cons they have a little piece that you can slide in to seal it, right? To close it off, so it's like a whole handle if you're gonna just use one, and it has a little wrist strap. That one, where is that? Go on.
To secure, yes.
It's always disappeared somehow. Kids lose it, they take it off, they throw it somewhere, they do. Like those little pieces that are supposed to be you're supposed to clip it into it to turn it into a mouse. Why?
They want it because of the Mario Maker, and what's the other game? The drawing one that they're bringing back, supposedly.
Mario Maker, and
there's another one with the drawing or the painting.
Maybe Mario Paint?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they're trying to bring that back. I don't know.
So yes, so they're trying to kind of make it nice and smooth, but again, it messes with the kid-friendly narrative, right? Where you could just hand them their Switch and have them not break it. Here comes the issues with it. I don't know, man. I didn't see anything that I was overjoyed with.
Thanks. What about you, Hargeet? What was your feel? I know you were really excited for it too. Like we've been really excited for this moment.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen enough to make it so that I can really tell, right? So I'm seeing a couple of graphics comparisons. It is substantially better than Mario Kart 8, but until you see them side by side, you don't realize it. Because again, it doesn't look anything like a Hellblade 2. It's not anywhere close to that, right? So, but it is substantially better than what you get with Mario Kart 8. But again, don't expect this to be that level. It's not going to be an Xbox, right? It's not going to be a Series X, but it's going to do something. And again, it is cartoony. But yeah, like seeing a little snippet like that, it's hard to tell what it really means. until we see a lot more of it, right? Having more of the levels around it, maybe having fewer. I think you can do 24 players, and I don't know if they were showing all 24 players, which I think is much more than you get to play on the Switch.
Yeah,
One
but
version, right?
how much does that even really matter? You know what I'm saying? Like when you're playing the game, never once while playing Mario Kart 8, you know, on the Wii, I mean on the Switch, was I saying, man, I really wish there was more players to race against. Like I don't give a shit.
My
I'm just fucking
assumption
playing
is you're
with
playing
people.
online. I'm assuming that's because you play online, right? Which, by the way, we don't know anything about that either. We don't know
Exactly.
anything about the online capabilities. It's hard to tell, right? So, and this is probably not the marquee title. I think Mario 3D is going to be the marquee title. I think they rushed this. And unfortunately, because of that, we saw these little snippets that really aren't representative of what we eventually will see. But yeah, to your point, it's
I
not
hope
a
so,
good
too.
showing, right? It's
No.
not a
No,
good
not at all.
showing.
It's worse than the
So-
Pro.
And
The Pro
first of all, that's why they didn't
gave
announce
people
it.
9 minutes, and here we
Yeah.
go with a 2-minute presentation. It was.
They didn't understand they did this on purpose, right? Now you know that they knew it sucked because if they know what happens when you announce it. When you announce it, everybody gets ready because they're going to live stream it. They knew the reaction that people were going to have. They knew that after watching it, you were going to say, "What the fuck?" Like it's they knew it, and that's why they didn't. That's why they didn't let us prepare.
Yeah.
Right? We were talking about, oh, should we stream it or whatever? And it's like, nope, 2-minute.
That's wild.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I think this is really more about like the hardware because so much of the hardware had leaked already, and they were just trying to like get ahead of that. I think they were annoyed by the fact that they had to put this out, but whatever. So they put out something. Yeah, it's not. I would rather see something a lot like Metroid Prime 4, right? We're waiting for that game. What's the like the Switch 1 version versus the Switch 2 version? Show me the difference, right? Compel me to want the Switch 2. And I think they're going to do that eventually, but we're not there. And unfortunately, with this little snippet of Mario Kart, you don't really get enough of a feel of what this thing does. We don't even have specs. So it's hard to tell. But yeah, so we kind of know a little bit about the hardware and really just a little bit about the hardware, not too much either.
Yeah.
So
No, not
I
at
still
all.
don't know what the gimmick is. There's going to be something that's different. I don't know what that is. There's the mouse thing. Is that it?
Or the mouse thing.
Right?
Which
There's a
is-
C button.
which would be
What is
really
the
stupid.
C button about?
It would
right?
be. It would be such a
Right.
waste.
So
Yep.
yeah, so I don't know. We have to like figure out what all that is, but we're quite a bit away from that. So disappointing in that I was expecting more like a 30-minute showing, right? That gives me a lot more about what's going on. That's not what we got here. This is just a little teaser, and it's like, well, okay, that's cool, but like I really kind of wanted to get the full on, you know, here's like the Cerny presentation, right? Of what the hell is this thing? And then let's see some of the games. I want to see the games, and you know, why am I going to get this over the Switch? Like Doodle, you were saying, like what would be the upgrade, the Wii U versus the Wii, right? Like, why do I need this, right? So I think they need to do that. They need to show you, okay, you can get this game on Switch. Why would you want the 2? Here's why, right? And
Yes.
and showcase the difference, which they have not done. And so it's a very, very minimal thing. That was kind of disappointing. Even if it was 10 minutes to kind of get into it a bit. No. This was really a very like it was, you know how like Xbox does like we're going to talk about the console, but here's like a 30-second sizzle reel and then come back and talk about it. They didn't do the talk about it.
Yes.
So that's
Facts.
the problem, right? And it's like that's kind of what I wanted, right? So yes, it's cool to show me a little sizzle reel, but I want to see the actual, you know, what is it? Talk to me about what the Switch 2 does. What was your design philosophy, you know, et cetera. Like, let's get into it, right? But we didn't get any of that. So I'm waiting for that, right, to actually tell me why. I'm still hyped for it. I don't care. I'm still going to get it anyway. But I want to see what the heck is compelling about the new hardware. Just because I'm a hardware guy, I want to see what the heck they have. So
Yeah.
it's a little disappointing in what they showed. You know, I think they were trying to deal with the whole freaking leaks, and like everybody's showing this stuff before we are. Fine, we'll show you what it's supposed to be, right, and make it official. So that's really all we got. And
I feel like they
I
shouldn't have given into that pressure. I wish because
yeah,
nowadays it's so difficult to go ahead and come back from a bad impression, right? So if you go ahead and
yeah.
you don't put your best foot forward when you're, especially when it comes to a console, considering what happened with their, Wii U situation. This was kind of crucial, and they should have, I feel like they should have just waited it out and let people talk whatever they wanted to talk, and then just show it when they were ready and they wanted to show us the lineup of the games and kind of wow the situation rather than half-ass it, right?
You
Yeah.
know,
And if you're
so
gonna
I think
show
no, I was just gonna say I think the one thing that's different though about Nintendo is that like we are looking at that shit saying, how come it doesn't look that much better? Like
True.
the generic Nintendo fan who's just
probably
like
doesn't care, right?
they don't give a shit, right? They're like, I'm getting more
Yeah. Can I play
Nintendo,
the games?
right? Bigger
Right.
screen, bigger thing. It's like I'm gonna play whatever they're making anyway. So they're just happy that it's happening. It's just for people like us who play, higher end stuff as well.
We're looking for that,
You're
yeah.
interested in the tech. We want to see. We know what, like you're associated with Nvidia.
Yes.
Nvidia is
And we want to see what
killing
happens
it.
with that, right?
They really
You
are.
know what I'm saying? Like they're killing it they're like light years ahead of AMD. I'm so annoyed that I pray, I still in my heart, I hope that Microsoft is just not telling us and they switched to Nvidia. All right, like I really
No,
want.
it's
That's
gonna
why
be AMD.
Sarabon needs a forward compatibility team because they have to take all those AMD games and compatibilize them, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Make them compatible with the Nvidia console, right? Let's go. I need it. Or make that PC box and tell us there's two versions. Okay, I can get an AMD box or Nvidia box. Give me both.
Yeah.
Let me get the choice. You know what I'm saying?
But the
like,
other thing is
there could be
Nintendo
more.
isn't used to doing this, but they need to do a 4K stream. It's 1080p. If you're showing like potential 4K, you need to actually show it in 4K.
Unless it's
They're
not
not doing
4K.
that. Yeah, it's not even in 4K. They need to kind of learn those lessons. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna show any game, and if it was just Mario Kart, fine. Show us like a 3-minute, 4-minute clip of Mario Kart, various scenes, where are the upgrades, right? Do all that.
Yep.
Do it in 4K. Just showing a couple of like little snippets, it's not enough. But yeah, so it's somewhat disappointing. Still, it's good that they finally did something great, but I'd have preferred a lot more in-depth something, right? Even if it was just a hardware part and then show us the games later, fine. But if it's going to be showing games, then show us the games, show us something to make it compelling. But yeah, they did not do any of that. But to your point, CMoney, I think the average person that's buying a Nintendo Switch doesn't care about the graphics; they just care about the Switch, and they're gonna buy it
I mean,
anyway. Yeah,
it's a
that's
different
just
beast,
the way it
right?
is,
It's a
right?
different beast. It's
So,
a different beast.
so, but yeah, I am a little disappointed, but it's at least something. We got
not
something.
all hope is lost, but it's not looking great right now. Like I would be really disappointed. Like my only thing I was holding out on because I was waiting for Metroid Prime 4, right? Like I've been everybody
Yeah,
has, right? But
love
I've
to
been
see
waiting
that.
and I wanted to see it. And then I saw it on the other, when
On the
they
Switch.
showed it on the
Yeah.
regular Switch. And I was like, God, why can't it look better? Why can't it look better? God, why? Right. And then I'm like, okay, Switch 2's coming. That's okay. This is gonna be like, they're releasing it here, but they're gonna spruce it up. They're gonna give me the big dog shit in the next one. And like right now, in this moment, I'm doubtful. Right. I don't know if it's true. Like, I don't know if that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, God damn. Really annoyed by it. Spartan, what do you think about the Switch reveal, man? Were you let down too, or did you just never have faith in it?
I was disappointed. They just showed you the Switch and then says, "Oh, we'll just tell you everything about it in April." What?
Yeah, like that's
What?
far. That's not like next month. It's like
Nah.
3 months from now.
Like, okay, well, I mean, I don't mind the Nintendo. I mean, I like playing Mario and some little silly games here and there. I mean, it's not my main console, but I mean, my wife plays it. I play it once in a great blue moon. The only reason why I bought it for her was because I wanted to play Marvel's Alliance 3. And I still haven't even got a chance to buy it. Or, play it too much. Or beat it. That's what I wanted to say.
That's wild.
But I mean, come on, Nintendo. I mean, you got to do better now. If you want us to pay $400 for something, it should be as good as the Series S. I mean, what you could buy a Series S for like $300-$400 with a 1 terabyte, memory.
Yep. What? It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know why this had to be like
$350 for the decent model, then yeah, I can imagine, paying for that. But I mean, I wanted to buy 2 of them because I wanted to buy one for me and one for my wife, but they were like, oh, 400 plus. And I'm like, get the hell out of here. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. So it also may not be releasing as soon as we thought it was going to, which we were expecting this spring. Actually, I think we even talked about March, right?
Yeah, it looks like June. That was what the hate leaked.
Yeah.
So he got this right? That it did drop today, the trailer. So his leak is that it's going to drop in June. Right now, this is the thing. Fun fact: PAX East is normally in March.
Yes.
Right? So we're going back to PAX this year.
Awesome.
And this is the thing. It's now in May. And I heard that the reason it's in May is because Nintendo is going to go to PAX East with the handheld.
Oh.
So if you get to a situation where you have April, they show it to us. There are days that you could actually.
There are, yeah.
It's like the April 4th or whatever in New York. We might take a trip to New York to go check it out.
Yes.
But it's gonna be over there, and then in like 2 other places. But then after that, supposedly it's gonna be in May at PAX, and then supposedly in June it releases. This is what I heard. So
I mean, it's lining up.
it makes sense, but I don't know. It's still far.
We'll see.